Welcome, everybody. It's the Friday edition of Talkback. I'm Peter Christian. John King is over there. Good morning, John.
Hey, good morning, Peter.
And we have Kevin on the line right now. Kevin, first of all, thank you for calling, sir. I understand you have an update on the accident on Highway 93 between Missoula and Lolo.
Hi, Peter. I do. I just drove through that area. It's both northbound lanes are blocked off right now. They're routing people onto the shoulder to get around that. And it's heading north. It's just before you hit those S-curves.
All right. So
it looks like there's 5 cars involved in the accident.
5 cars? Is it slick out there or what?
I didn't notice any slickness at all. I think probably people not paying attention.
So somebody coming around a corner and not realizing there was an accident there and just kind of piling in, or what?
Well, it was on the straightaway before you even get to the S-curve, so I really don't know what happened, but they are getting it cleaned up.
Wow. Were there any ambulances there?
I didn't see any ambulances. It looked mostly like just fender bender kind of damage.
Okay. All right. Well, Kevin, we sure appreciate the update. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and continue to drive safely out there. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate the call. All right. So, letting you know exactly what's going on as best we can, and we appreciate our listeners because, after all, we are not clairvoyant.
By the way, we love that.
Yeah.
Whenever you have something you see, news that's on the street, give us a call at 721-1290 and we'll get it on the air. It's something that we can do in news that you can't really do on TV so well, and you can't do it on YouTube, although you might be able to get an interview with the president on YouTube and not on Talkback.
Or John Tester, for that matter. Yeah. Anyway, all right. I must share something with you. I must admit, ladies and gentlemen, I committed a crime.
Dun, 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 dun.
I did. And
he looks really guilty, by the way.
It wasn't jaywalking or anything. It was, you've probably heard about these scam calls from people claiming to be from the IRS or from the Justice Department or whatever, saying they've got a warrant for your arrest and they need if you want to pay this fine, you need to do it. And they're very, very nasty about it, by the way. All right. Well, I actually got a call yesterday at my home, okay, at my personal home, and so doing what I do, whenever I get a call that seems like a newsy call, I record it. Mm-hmm. Well,
now normally Peter will say, hey, I'm about to record and let you know, but you didn't feel like giving this guy the courtesy,
and that was breaking the law. But I don't expect him to come back at me for it. So I would like to share this with you, and I think this is going to be very instructive because
he'll tell you exactly where to put an umbrella.
Well,
if you wait to the
end. Well, don't give it away. But here's what happened. I played along with this guy to try to get him to show his hand. And man, it was amazing, some of the stuff. So this will take about 4 minutes of your time. I really want you to listen now. Please keep in mind, this man speaks with a very, very thick foreign accent, okay? So keep in mind and just turn up your radio and enjoy.
From Crime Investigation Department, can I help you?
What can I do for you?
Sir, a case has been registered against your name and a legal lawsuit has been filed against you concerning
legal lawsuit, I like
tax evasion. So could you please let me know that did you refer to the documentations? I'm talking about the notice of assessment from the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration.
Boy, I don't remember receiving any sort of a letter like that. When would I have gotten it?
Well, it was 27th of September 2014, and secondly at 4th of December 2014, it was an associate of the Treasury Inspector General who has visited your place 2 times. Wow. But both the times you were not available at the doorstep, so they had put it down the yellow receipt in your mailbox with the callback number. Please try to get in touch either in a positive way or either in a negative way. But we didn't get any kind of correspondence from your side.
Wow. Well, I certainly don't remember seeing anything, so what am I supposed to do?
Well, first of all, I just want to confirm the address with the state zip code 59803. Is that your current place of residence?
Yeah, as far as I know.
So you're trying to say that you are totally unaware about the situation which is happening under your name, sir?
I have absolutely no clue about what you're even talking about.
Well, in case if you are not aware about this legal lawsuit which is going to be filed against you, so that I can explain you that what is this all about and what is this concerning. But before that, let me notify you that these lines are been federally recorded and monitored by the IRS headquarters as well as the Attorney General office.
So he says he's
listen
recording
to
me.
very carefully. Once I'm going to be completing with my part, you can ask me straight away whatever the question you would be having in front of you.
Well, let me ask you something. First of all, can I have your name and your title if you have one?
My name is James Anderson from Crime Investigation Department, the headquarters of Crime Investigation Department, which is in Santa Rosa, California.
Okay. And so what
Mr. Anderson.
now?
First of all, could you be please ready with the pen and paper so that I can provide you some information from the case?
Yeah, go right ahead.
This is great.
Well, first of all, I want you to write down your case file number, which is M as in Mary, T as in Tom.
Hold on a minute. Okay, M as in Mary. All right.
M as in Mary, T as in
We'll
Tom.
be from Montana, obviously.
7405 764538. That's your case file number.
Ah, okay. Let me see if I got this right. MT 7405 764538.
Yes, this is your case file number.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Provide to your attorney who's going to be representing you inside the courthouse. Now, I want you to write down the arrest warrant which has been issued against you, sir.
An arrest warrant?
ID number.
An arrest warrant?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, this is amazing. Okay. So what's the arrest warrant number?
It's 109 slash 55 slash 305. That's your arrest warrant ID number.
Wow. Wow. Okay. So now what? What am I supposed to do?
You are supposed to get an umbrella from the nearest certified store.
He's got it now.
The government certified store, and stick that umbrella in your.
And thank you very much for your call. By the way, I was recording this whole thing. And have a nice day. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I had to bleep that out because that was definitely a deleted expletive. He was not happy that I played him along throughout it because I was hoping he'd say, I want to have your bank account number. I was hoping he would, but he didn't do that. So evidently I was too compliant or I don't know, something.
So what was he claiming to be from? What organization?
He was claiming to be from the IRS. And so anyway, but my number is, I want to know if anybody else has received a call like this. 721-1290. We're going to come right back with more of Talkback here in just a moment. Hey, we're back on Talkback. 721-1290 is the number. It's Friday, and let's get to the phones. Interesting little episode I had. It was an absolutely true story. I did not make it up. Wasn't a gag.
It was hilarious.
Well, it was a scam. It was somebody tried to defraud me. And so I kind of turned the tables on them a little bit, and they got a little angry about it. But
we got a call from Kate, and
Yes.
she said that you need to watch out for these guys.
All right.
The ones that like to talk a long time apparently have some kind of trick where they get your cell phone bill up.
Well, they get called on my landline, which I have free long distance on, so it doesn't matter. All right, so so they're wasting their time.
Outthought them all.
Whatever. Mike is on Talkback. Hi, Mike.
Yeah, I get several of these calls all the time, and the best one was the lawsuit against the wife from the IRS.
Yeah, that's what this was a lawsuit
Yeah.
by the IRS.
Yeah, but this guy, and it's odd that this guy, and he was definitely from India.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is a definite Indian accent.
If his name is James Anderson, then my name is, whatever. Sarah Lee or whatever.
And anytime you hear one straight away, you know he's calling from India. That's an English saying. So.
Well, and especially when they use terms like legal lawsuit.
Yeah.
It's a little Department of Redundancy department there. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, I usually string them along until I really give them one and ask them how many have got ate up by tigers lately or something. Or
Well,
but Yeah, I've had them from out. I'm pretty sure that some of these come out of the Philippines.
Well, whatever. He was mad enough to curse me, and of course I bleeped it out. But
oh yeah, the last one you wouldn't dare put what he had on there to say.
No, I want to keep our FCC license.
He was really unhappy with me.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Mike.
All right. Yeah, that's for everybody. String them along just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Mike. Lee, good morning. You're on Talkback. Hi.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, Lee, you're on. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I had a call like that it's probably about 9 months ago. And, I had a warrant out for my arrest. But the problem I had is that they had all of my information from my recent refi.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they had my loan number and the whole 9 yards.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that got kind of got me upset a little bit.
So somebody had hacked into one of those accounts and had called you.
Yeah, exactly. And so they wanted me to send them a payment right away.
Of course.
Because I was behind, and I knew I wasn't behind, and I just refied. So,
but this wasn't an IRS deal. This was a refi scam, right?
Right.
Yeah.
This is a refi scam. Sound like almost the same guy.
Yeah, could have been. You never know. He sounded very busy.
Yeah.
He sounded really upset that I wasted his time.
Sure. Yeah. Well, anyway, I got him pretty upset the same way too, because I kept demanding, well, you need to give me more information than that, and so he got pretty upset. Then he got his buddy on the phone.
My supervisor. I would get my supervisor.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of a good cop, bad cop.
Right, yeah. I could just imagine what his supervisor sounded like.
He was a lot less assertive, but and so then I played along too. Okay, well, where do I send this money? And they tell me, go down to your nearest place to
the Western Union.
Yeah, Western Union. Wire some money to you.
Yeah, the IRS always works that way.
Yeah. So anyway, end result was I ended up calling the state's attorney to find out.
That's what I did. Yeah. The Office of Consumer Protection.
Yes.
And that was
actually I went to the state's attorney's office.
Yeah, as did I. I called the Attorney General's office and spoke with Anastasia Burton, who is the spokesperson for Attorney General Tim Fox. So.
Now they work really closely with the Crime Enforcement
the
Department.
Crime Enforcement Department
out of San Jose, California.
Yeah, right, exactly. They were from about the same place. Yeah, right. And both of them had American names, but they were as Indian as you could.
I hear you.
Find, but anyway, they told me over there in state's attorney, there's really not a whole lot that they could do because if they track them down and everything, they're out of the country.
Yeah, they're out of the country.
Yeah.
The best thing to do, they say, is just hang up immediately.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for the call.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. All right, Marilyn, you're on Talkback. Hi.
Good morning. Well, about a week ago, I got a call from somebody telling me that I had been selected to get an $8,000 grant from the government.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Oh, my God. So instead of, I'm not very good at doing, what you did, that type of thing, but I am really good at giving my opinion. So
okay.
I went off on the guy, and I said, well, it's really evident this government is trying to collapse this economy, and I'm not going to be any part of it. Slam my phone down. But interesting thing, I was telling some people about it, and there was two friends of mine. One thought she got the same phone call, but she hung up before, she even said anything to the guy. And the other gal said, and I knew this was coming, I said, did you tell him that you would take the money? And she said, yes. Because she's already kind of dependent on government stuff.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay.
I hope they didn't get any for important information,
though.
She
said that they did start asking for information, and that was when she hung up.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, Marilyn, thanks, hon.
Yeah.
Have a great day. All right, Debbie and Fred, and we have a line open. I bet it's going to ring. There it goes, 721. Everybody's had something like this. And I will tell you that when I spoke with Anastasia Burton, after she told me I broke the law, I'm sorry. The guy can come back after me if he wants to. But anyway, the most important thing to do is when you get a call like that, don't engage them. Don't try to do what I did. Just hang up the phone and walk away.
Well, you could also say that you obtained the recording that they were using on you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So we're gonna come right back. So Debbie, Fred, and Ray will get you all on in just a moment. 721-1290, 1-800-568-5309. That would, of course, be John King over there.
Good morning.
I'm Peter Christian.
He's had a spot of tea and
Thank you.
crumpet.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we lost Fred. So sorry, Fred. But we do have Debbie on the line. Good morning, Debbie. You're on Talkback. Hi.
Good morning, John and Peter. How are you?
What's up, kid?
Hey, I got a phone call the other day. In fact, I got it twice, but it didn't have anything to do with the IRS. It was a gentleman. He had kind of, he was speaking pretty good English, but you could tell he wasn't.
Yeah, wasn't his native language, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, he said he was. His name was Cliff Stevens, and he was calling about, or he was calling from the Department of Legal Affairs.
Right.
And that he was calling about an important issue regarding an action that had been started on our name.
A legal lawsuit?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't an actual person talking. It was a recording.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, he gave the phone number, and he said, if you are privy to call back.
Privy?
Yeah, if you're privy to call back, that he suggested that you have your attorney available. And otherwise, it might end up in a mess for you.
Wow.
Wow, a threatening phone
using
call.
privy and mess in the same sentence.
Yeah, no kidding.
Classy.
But anyway, I called the sheriff's department and KPAX and told them about it. But
well, you could have called KGVO, Debbie.
you know, and
A little
I
late on the
time,
upswing there.
I will next time. The sheriff's department said they'd gotten several calls. And KPAX said that they had gotten several calls, but on the news that night they were talking just about the IRS. So just so that people know, it's not just an IRS call that's coming out.
Well, Debbie, let me tell you that this seems to be a thriving cottage industry, trying to find gullible Americans who are willing to give up their sensitive information.
Right, exactly.
All right. Well, we sure appreciate your call.
You bet.
Thank you, and be safe out there. All right, let's get Ray on the line. Good morning, Ray. What's up?
I got a call about a week ago.
Okay, what happened?
And this story was that they were from the Treasury Department, and there was a mistake in my 2011 taxes, and I owed $4,000.
Oh, wow.
They issued a warrant, and I was going to be arrested in 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Wow.
So
run, Ray, run!
Yeah. So I turned the conversations out trying to get details, and they said, well, hold it, and we got my tax records. When I came back, they hung up.
Oh, well.
So I did a star 69 and called them back, and got the same story. As soon as I started talking details, they hung up. And this went on for 3 calls, and then...
So did you run your 45 minutes out trying to call them back, and then... You're like,
no, they answered immediately, and they knew who I was.
Well, they obviously had caller ID as well.
Yeah. But when they called, they knew my name and telephone number, and that's all they appeared to know. I was going to be arrested in 45 minutes.
See, they might, for some reason, they threaten Peter's generation with lawsuits, legal lawsuits.
What is this
all
Peter's?
kinds of stuff.
What is this Peter's generation business?
They try to give me free stuff.
Yeah.
So I got a call on my cell phone, which is weird because I have a cell phone. I don't even own a landline.
Right.
So I get to avoid a lot of this mess. But I got a call just 2 days ago, and I won a Mercedes and like $40,000.
Way to go, John!
And all I had to do was pay like $100 or $200 processing fee, and I'd get all this loot. So apparently they sucker my generation in with free stuff.
That's because you're gullible.
Yes. Stupid and gullible.
All right, Ray, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Appreciate the call. All right, so hope everybody's getting a lesson here. Just don't fall for this stuff. Yeah. Amy, good morning. You're on Talkback. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. What's up?
I got a call from, my phone rang, and it was strange because I looked at the caller ID and it said Jamaica.
Hey, that's the same one I got. Mine also said
and
Jamaica.
I'm like, which one of my wayward friends is in Jamaica? So I answer the phone, and it's a Jamaican man, and he's telling me that he's from the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah!
I've won $850,000, and how do I feel about this?
Woo, 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 woo.
And I said, I'll believe it when I see it. What do I do? And he said, you just go down to Walgreens and you get 2 prepaid Visa cards with $500 each. And I said, okay, so they know I'm coming? He said, what do you mean? And I said, well, I'm going to go down to Walgreens and I'm going to get 2 prepaid Visa cards and they're going to have $500 each. Then what do I do? And he said, no, you have to go to Walgreens and purchase 2 Visa prepaid cards and put $500 on each.
Okay.
I said, how does that get me $850,000? I don't understand. And he said, "Ma'am, I am a man of God. I only tell you the truth. Please, you have to trust me. Just do what I'm asking you to do, and you'll win $850,000."
You're
I said,
kidding.
"Goodbye," and I hung up the phone.
Oh, Amy, that's awful. That's terrible.
Well, and it's really terrible when people who are really struggling with their family and their lives and their jobs that get these calls, and people that think that it's real.
That's so evil.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, I'm glad you didn't fall for it.
Thank you.
By the way, if you have one of those cards and you want to drop it by the radio station,
which is, by the way, illegal. But whatever. Peter apparently is flouting the law all over the place today.
I'm writing all this down, so if I ever lose my job, I know what I'll be doing in the future, because I can imitate all these voices. See,
you could.
I'm a man of 1,000 voices. I could do any voice you want.
Can you do the "I'm a man of God" voice?
I'm a man of God. I want you to trust me. I would never lead you astray. Amy, how's that? Pretty good, huh?
Pretty good.
Okay.
That was great. I was just going to ask you to do that. I've heard you sing throughout the week, and I think you've got the Preacher Elvis thing down perfect.
Thank you very much. I'd like a peanut butter and bologna sandwich, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. All right, thank you.
You guys are awesome. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Amy. All right, that's great. Let's get Mike on the line. Good morning, Mike. This is Elvis. How you doing?
Morning, John and Elvis. Earlier, you called yourself Sarah Lee, so now I'm confused.
Go ahead. What's up?
First off, I'm really glad you guys are on the air because I'm stuck in Highway 93 in Lolo. There's obviously an accident somewhere.
Yes. By the S curves, 5-car accident.
Oh, and there's not even any ice.
I know. Evidently, a whole lot of folks following too close and not paying attention, I guess. But I don't know if there have been any fatalities. I'm hoping not. But one passerby said it didn't look like there were any serious injuries. So
do that 3-second rule. You never get closer than 3 seconds from the car in front of you.
Amen.
Then you can stop. Otherwise, you don't have the reaction time.
You got it.
But, hey, a couple things on what to do when you get the calls. A year or so ago, I got a call from somebody saying they were from a bank where I had a credit card, and they wanted to verify that I was who I am. So I just turned around and says, "No, I need you to verify." I took their information, and then I hung up. And the next day I went down to U.S. Bank and said, "No, I got this phone call," and U.S. Bank checked said, "Yes, it was legitimate."
Wow.
So turn it around, get the information, and then the next day, if they say they're from your bank or whatever, call and check. So I turned it around on them. And it was legitimate, and there was actually fraud on my Visa card. And they were calling to let me know.
Good for you.
Meanwhile, they had to verify who I was. I wasn't going to give them any information.
Right.
So call and verify. That's one. Yeah. This is a little bit different, but in my office door, I have a sign at work that says, "No soliciting." I mean, we get busy at work, and I'll have a client or a customer in there, and you get somebody off the street, just walk in and say, "Hey, do you want to buy this picture?" Well, they're interrupting. So finally, after several years, I put a "no soliciting" sign on my door, and it come to find out it stops some people, but this one fella every year comes around selling pictures, and I'm in with a client, and one day I finally just got mad. And I asked him, I said, "Where did you go to high school?" And he told me. I said, "Did you graduate?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Well, you got to give your degree back because you can't read. There's a sign on the door in big red letters, no soliciting." And my client just started cracking up. And the guy said, "So?"
He doesn't know what soliciting means, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you get these all the time. Or you get a phone call, and it's their dime. They're calling you. Sometimes I've put the phone on mute, set it down, and just gone about my business and let them talk for 20 minutes.
Hold on, I got to go find a pin for 45 minutes until the cops come.
All right.
Yeah. So,
hey Mike.
Have a little fun with it, but the point is turn the tables on them.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like what you did, Peter.
Yeah.
Although most of us know now never to call you because you're recording all phone calls.
But when I'm doing legitimate news phone calls, I always ask permission to record first. So
I know. But turn the tables, get the information from them. If they are legitimate, they'll give you the phone number. They'll give you the information you need to go to your bank or credit, whatever, to verify that they're actually real.
Yeah, because they don't want to lose their jobs, for one thing.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Hey,
So,
thanks, Mike.
let's turn it around.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Sarah Lee. Bye.
Yeah. Hope you get where you're going eventually. They'll clear that mess up. We'll get Earl and Mike. We have a line open for you at 721-1290. We're got lots of mics in the audience today. We're coming right back after this. So if you're the victim of a legal lawsuit, we kind of know which direction to go now. All right, let's. Lots of folks calling. We have a line open, by the way. If you have an experience you'd like to share, let's get Earl on the line. Good morning,
We're
Earl.
soliciting your calls.
Exactly.
Right now.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. 721-1290. Good morning, Earl.
Morning, guys. Hey, it's this pretty good open line Friday kind of thing you got going here. I really like what you did, Peter. I think that's always great when you can turn it around. I've got a little bit of a different scam that I've run into. I work for a retail business here in town, and twice a year I get a call from some restricted number, comes across on my cell phone, from some guys who say that they're representing one of the local high schools. I think the last few I've gotten, they said they're representing Hellgate High School.
Wow.
And they're putting out the fall sports calendar or the spring sports calendar or something like that.
Right.
I checked with the folks at the high school district and everything, and they know that this is a problem out there. But these guys are, they want $200 or $300 for like a business card size ad, and I've gotten so many calls from them. I know when they're calling because it comes up as a restricted number on my cell phone, and I let them get their name out, and then I pretty much start telling them the same line that they've given me every single time that they call. And I said, "So are you calling about the sports calendar?" "Well, yeah." I said, "Yeah, okay, well, I wish you guys would quit calling because I know you're a scam. I don't know why you keep calling me, but you're not going to get anything from me, pal." So,
Do they
word for word, I could recite their whole.
Well, now, is it the same person, Earl, or is it a different person every time?
Oh no, it's a different person every time, and they've had it's funny the guy who called you had the heavy accent, but I've had folks with really good English, folks with sounded kind of urban, folks that sounded foreign. It's funny. And the only reason why I take the calls, a few times I've just hung up on them, but yeah. I almost want to see who they've got calling this time. I don't know. It's just, but
yeah. Well, I tell you what, I'll call you one of these days of friends, and you are my friends. Yeah. I have a great deal for you that I tell you what. What do you think? You fall for that one, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, that'd be perfect. But one thing I've told a lot of folks too, and I don't know, it makes it tough on legitimate fundraising organizations too, because I've pretty much told folks who call, especially when it involves high school sports or something, hey, if one of the students or one of the coaches wants to come visit me at my office, I'm more than happy to meet them in person to talk about a donation or buying an ad or something to support the school. But I just won't do it over the phone anymore.
I hear you. All right, Earl. Thanks, man.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good show.
Appreciate the call. Thank you very much. We have two lines open now, 721-1290. Go ahead, John.
We have a question on our Facebook page for you, Peter.
Yes.
She wanted to know, this is Katie, she wants to know if you got the number that the individual was calling from, and was it an international code?
It was a 707 area code. I'm not sure what 707 is. I want to look that up. Sure, you can Google it.
Sure.
But I did give the number to the Attorney General's office when I called Anastasia Burton, and I'm sure they tried to call it. And what?
I think he was telling the truth. It's from California.
Wow.
So he probably was from the Crime Enforcement Department.
Amazing.
San Jose.
Could be. Let's get Mike on the line. Good morning, Mike.
Hi. Thanks for taking my call. You know when you first set up your Wi-Fi out with your cable, you can name your Wi-Fi. So you drive through the neighborhoods and you see Wi-Fi names like Fluffy Face 136 or Cat Lover 93.
Right.
I always thought it'd be kind of cool to name your Wi-Fi FBI Surveillance.
By the way, I actually have seen that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to live in some apartments over here by Safeway. And someone in the region had something that was like that, like you thought it was a.
Well, are you sure it wasn't the real thing?
Well, no, but yes.
I was wondering if maybe one of your callers, could you change your caller ID to something like that?
That would be interesting. I don't know. I'm not sure how they set the caller ID, so I don't know.
I think that might curtail some calls from.
Sure. Yeah, you bet. All right, thanks for the call, man.
To set your ID, all you have to do is program your VCR, and then it will retroactively
don't ask me to program my. Yeah, he's looking at me again. Like, okay, we're up against a break. So Scott, you're a detective, so I really want to get you on, but I need to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we have one line open: 721-1290. We'll be right back. This is Talkback. 721-1290 is our number, 1-800-568-5309. At the start of the hour, I played a little bit of a scam call, if you will, that I received, and I had a little fun with the perpetrator who ended up not being very nice at the end because I wasted his time, big time. But we've been deluged with calls since then. Evidently, this is a common occurrence, but I understand we have a detective on the line. Yeah. Scott, good morning.
How you doing, Peter?
Excellent, sir. What's on your mind?
Well, I just got in the car headed to work, and I'm driving and listening to your radio show, and I can't believe the response you're getting. People are really smart, but the crooks, they always come up with something new, so you got to be on your guard all the time.
Okay.
I just thought I'd give you a clever one that they came up with. I worked on this case last year where this poor lady had lost her mother's wedding ring and a watch at a fishing access here in Ravalli County, and she puts an ad in the paper saying, "Hey, if you find this ring, please call me and I'll give you a reward. I want it back. It's my mother's." And so she gets a phone call, and obviously it's from out of the area. How far, we don't know, but the caller says, "No, I was just driving through your area here. What a beautiful place you have there." And I stopped and I found this watch and this ring on the ground at the fishing access, and this must be yours. So if you'll just send me, $50 for the postage, and the insurance, I'll send this ring and watch back to you.
Oh, wow.
Of course, she didn't fall for it, but that's the kind of the attitude that the criminals have.
These people have no heart, do they, Scott?
You think you got them figured out, and they come up with something new. It's like every year we have the same scam that comes to the area. You got to really be careful when you're having paving work done. There's a lot of good pavers in the area, but you got to be careful who you're hiring. Make sure they're going to do the job that they say they're going to do. In fact, you get good references from people who you know and admire and respect. Go look at the jobs that they've done in the area first before you hire someone to either oil or pave your driveway. Just be cautious. It's your money. Be careful. Before you give them a dime, do your homework and make sure that they're legit.
Get that due diligence done, right, Scott?
I'm sorry, what?
I said get that due diligence done.
Yeah, just do a little bit because unfortunately, these people don't use their real names. Their license plates are often just pulled off another vehicle. They put them on their work truck, and it's very difficult for us to track them down. And even if we do, they've already spent the money, and you can't get blood out of a turnip. So I feel really bad. I had this case a while back of an elderly lady who, obviously, she was one of those ladies who was from the Depression era, and she hadn't had anything her whole life, but when she got a call saying she wanted a new car, and if you just send, $2,000, we'll send the car, we'll ship it out to you. Well, when they got her first $2,000, then they just kept on milking her, and for several thousand. And I kept telling her, stop doing that. They're not going to send you a car. You're not going to get anything. Now, there are some organizations out there that are pretty benevolent, and they take care of the elderly, and God bless them. I just want people to, if you have an elderly person in your family, sit down for 2 minutes and just educate them. Mom, Dad, if you get a call from somebody saying that you've won a bunch of money, call me first, and I'll go down there, and we'll pick it up together.
Perfect.
It's just heartbreaking to see them get hit. They worked so hard all their life, and now their retirement is shot. So.
Amen, brother. Scott, thanks for the call, man. We appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, guys.
You enjoy your day off.
You too, bye.
Thanks a lot, man. Vern, good morning. You're on Talkback. Hi.
Good morning. Just an update on the accident. I've spent about almost 30 minutes now going from the south side of Lolo to almost to the straightaway. So it's definitely a hour delay, I would say.
Wow.
Out of the Bitterroot.
Can you see what might have caused the wreck, or if anyone was injured?
They're just at the far end of the straightaway on Lolo Flat here, so all I can see is flashing lights up there. Can't see any details of it, but I can tell you from my personal experience, driving at rush hour when I absolutely have to, people were following too close, and cars in the left lane were doing 75, and somebody in the right-hand lane was doing 50 miles an hour, and somebody tried to squeeze in or out. And
oh, boy.
It looked like Daytona on the front straight.
All right, Vern.
But so I had that. Our surveillance, ours actually is, I believe, surveillance van down in the Bitterroot, our wireless hookup. Just a joke for people. And
Gotcha.
We've always gotten a few comments because people come and want to hook up, and they'll go, well, which one? Hey, do you know that there's the government's doing some surveillance up here or something? And wait until they find out that it's us. And lastly, what was the last one? Love stringing salespeople along. I mean, I had a call. It's my way of getting revenge, I guess. But last year I got just a whole series of calls from somebody, and this was it was a legitimate company, but they were selling extended auto
warranties, yeah,
repair insurance, warranties. And finally, I'd left. I'd talked to one person. I said, I don't want to get these. I still was getting them. So finally, I got fed up and took the call. It was always from the same number. And so I knew what it was, and I had a little time, and so I strung this lady along for quite a while, asking her questions, and she kept trying to get my vehicles, and both of mine. Well, my truck's a '65 Ford F-250, which and our van is 2000, so they're both way beyond the 10 years that these warranty people want. But I just kept stringing her along and stringing her along. I kept her on the phone for 15 minutes, and I said, well, you said that you have all my vehicle warranty. Well, no, I don't have it on my screen right here. And so then I went into, the one that's really important that I need to get it on is my 65 Ford F-250. There's just silence. And then she goes, excuse me, what year did you say it was? And I said, a 1965 Ford F-250. It's a classic. And it actually, I need a new engine and a new transmission in it here this year. So,
wow.
So, and she goes, I'm sorry, sir. And I just kept butting in, and finally she hung up on me.
Oh,
I have not gotten another call from them.
Good for you, Vern. Thanks for the call, man.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Appreciate it. Hope you get through okay. Bob and Florence, we'll get you on momentarily. We'll be right back, and we have a line open. Yeah, people, this is a common occurrence, folks, and everybody seems to is ringing a sympathetic bell. We'll be right back. Oh, yeah. 721-1290 is our number. Got about 3.5 minute segment here. Let's get as many calls in as we can and say good morning to Bob. Good morning, Bob.
Are you guys talking to me?
Yes,
Yep.
sir. If you're Bob, go ahead, sir.
Okay. So I wanted to kind of change the subject just for a second there. The comments about kids taking canned goods.
Oh, you mean to attack an intruder?
This was in Alabama, I believe, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't think that's such a bad idea. Here's my thought process on it, is that I've got a 10-year-old who's got a really good arm, and I guarantee you that if you're anywhere from 20 to 50, 60 feet away, and he has one of those canned goods, he's going to knock you out.
He'll nail you, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now think about this. You got 30 kids in that class, or 25.
Right.
Each one of those kids has one of those canned goods.
And they're all chucking them at once.
And someone comes through that door. What's the chances that that guy is actually going to be able to do anything.
Well, that's a good point.
A canned good, if you throw it at somebody or anybody and it hits you, it's going to do some serious damage.
All right. Well said. Bob, we got to run. Got to get some more calls in. Florence, you're on Talkback. Hi.
Hi. Last summer when we still had our landline, my husband got a call from 911. No, it actually said 911 on
the caller
ID.
Wow. Okay.
And then he said he was from the Missoula Police Department. I got his name. And then he said, I will call you back and blah, blah, blah. And then I called the police department and asked if they had a officer of that name. They said no. So he called me back. They told me to ask for his badge number. And he called back, and I said, well, I just spoke with the Missoula Police Department, and they've never heard of you, and can I please get your badge number? He hung up, and I've never heard from him since.
Well, you see, if I were him, I would say, that's because I'm operating undercover, ma'am.
Well, and there was a scam that went on in town yesterday last year, and they were using the name of an actual officer here in town.
Yeah.
But it wasn't actually him.
No, I called the police department, and they never heard of him.
Right. All right. Well, Florence, thanks so much for the call. You've given some good advice there.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.
We have another lady that called in. Bunny, she had a scam call from a company called HughesNet that was questioning her about her account, and apparently HughesNet is based out in the Philippines, and she was wondering if anybody else had had that experience. Or
well, I know what HughesNet is. If you've seen the ads where they have satellite dishes and you can get internet and all that kind of stuff with HughesNet.
No, I have not seen the commercial.
Anyway. All right, we're up against a break, and we have another hour of talk back. If you want to keep talking about this, we could do that. 721-1290 is our number. We have lots of things to share. We'll do that in the next hour. It's almost 9 o'clock. All right, welcome back, everybody. It's hour number 2 of Talk Back. I'm Peter Christian. John King's over there, and we spent the first hour kind of going over what happened to me. I recorded a scam call. I got the gentleman to get really angry with me and curse me on the on the radio. Of course, I recorded the call at home, and so been getting we probably 20 calls
at least.
Yeah, in the first hour, just people sharing their experiences. And Jennifer's on the line. Good morning, Jennifer.
Good morning.
Hi, what's on your mind, ma'am?
Oh, I just got a call yesterday, and my mom has gotten a similar one in the past. It's a little Indian voice, and he says that I have a virus on my computer, and that he just needs me to go to my computer and turn it on, and he's going to walk me through the steps from there.
Okay.
And the funny thing is that my mom doesn't have a computer, so obviously not a real thing. I'm wondering about that. Is there a way they can get into your computer, through that? I don't know.
Well, not if you don't have a computer.
Well, no, not if you don't have a computer. I do have a computer. We have a couple computers at my home.
There's all kinds of scams that they can use to get your personal information. I'm sure you can open up your computer to someone else so they could see your information on there.
Yeah, probably. He said he was from Windows.
Oh, there you go. Windows.
Yeah. Microsoft Windows.
Yeah.
I just thought that was pretty funny.
I'm not from the company. I'm from one of our products.
Yes.
I don't work for Microsoft.
I'm actually sitting next to a window right now. So.
That's right.
All right, Jennifer, thanks for the call.
Okay.
All right, there you go. So 721-1290.
We got a call from one lady, and she was hypothesizing about why, and I did not bring this up, Peter, so don't feel offended.
All right.
Why so many old people fall for these scams, okay?
I didn't fall for the scam! For crying out loud! I didn't fall for it! Heavenly days!
And she said...
I'm sick of this! Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Greg.
She said it was because back when they were younger, your word was your bond.
Back when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Darn kids, get out of my yard. Get out of my computer, for crying out loud. I see you in there.
Okay. All right, 721-1290. Now, I'm sure you got a bunch of stuff.
I do. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about.
All right.
We actually... let me start with stuff that was posted on our Facebook page.
All right.
So Claire has sent us an email / a web link, I should say, about Congress looking into a scam that we recently went under as the United States. If you recall, not too long ago, healthcare.gov started.
Yes.
Within it was a little deflated at the beginning. If you recall, most people that went in got pictures of really happy people that weren't moving at all because the screen was frozen as you waited for it to process, and it never got there.
Right.
Anyway, so after this Canadian company did that and did such a successful job, remember the president brought in this tech team to come and fix the problems that were in there and solve all the issues, right? And paid a bunch of money for more people to work on it.
More millions, right?
Yes, yes. Well, anyway, so that same company has been awarded a $4.5 million IT contract to CGI Federal. I'll read a little bit from this article. This is from the DC. The title of it is Under Review. Congress looking into why IRS has big money contract with botched healthcare.gov company.
Now the IRS?
Yeah. Well, it's along the same lines, actually, of what they were doing with healthcare.gov, so maybe that's why they chose them. Congress may conduct an investigation into the surprising report that the Internal Revenue Service awarded $4.5 million contract to CGI Federal, the discredited designer of the botched Obamacare website. Very newsy writing here, right? In response to the Daily Caller's disclosure Wednesday, Representative Jason Chaffetz of Utah, the new incoming chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, has instructed his staff to examine the reasons why the IRS awarded the contract to CGI. Quote, committed staff is looking into the matter, Chaffetz said in an email to the Daily Caller. An official probe into the IRS decision could embarrass President Obama, who in the wake of the CGI Obamacare fiasco issued a high-profile pledge to reform federal IT procurement. A new IT procurement survey was released on Thursday. However, it shows that the Obama administration has made little progress in forcing accountability into the largely hidden world of government IT contracting. Yeah, and I would say not just IT contracting, but contracting in general. Remember all of the money that we spent on I can't even remember his name. The specialist on healthcare that went around defending everybody.
Right, exactly. I can't remember his name either. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyway, so there's something that was posted by Claire. Also, we have something from Justin. He says, we get calls here in the office about 6 times a day. Usually it's a recording of some kind asking if we have, quote, quick access to government jobs, end quote, or something about office supplies. I wish it was illegal to mask your phone number like these guys do in most cases. Best thing to do, in my opinion, is to have them wait a second and tell them that you're having your phone disconnected tomorrow and give them a new number to reach you at. Just as you're about to give them the new information they are asking for, hang up like you got disconnected and tell them that to call that other number, which is the police department. Then just don't answer their calls on your normal number. I tend to make it a rule that if I don't recognize the caller ID as a local call or someone I know, I don't answer the phone. If it's important, they will leave a voicemail. So, all right. I was going to say, too, my personal experience, I work here in the office most of the day. Peter goes home to his luxurious estate. But I work in the little sweat box up here.
You mean my dungeon?
Anyway,
where my cell phone doesn't work?
I get calls all the time from people saying they're Google or people looking for some employee that works here or wanting to talk to a manager that was fired or quit 12 years ago. It is frustrating for a business to deal with all that wasted time.
You bet. We're going to take a little break. So 721-1290 is our number, 1-800-568-5330. Now we can continue talking about this. But we've got all sorts of things here in our little catalog of things to share. So go ahead.
Oh, 2 things. One, a guy we just got a call. Jonathan Gruber was the healthcare specialist. And secondly, I don't know if you told everyone, but that clogged drain in Lolo, the crash on the interstate there on I-93, has been removed.
Yes, all the obstacles have been removed and traffic is moving. So please be careful out there, all right? I can't wait to see the photos from the TV stations about what happened. We're going to come right back with more of Talk Back after this. Thanks for joining us on this Friday edition of Talk Back. John King's over there. I'm Peter Christian, and John's answering the phone at this moment, which is what we do, because this is a talk show. Golly gee whiz. Anyway, we have 2 lines still, 721-1290 or 1-800-568-5309. Should we get Dave on?
Sure.
Let's get Dave. We do this first. Dave, good morning. You're on Talk Back. Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. You know, the frequency and the urgency of this water compact ad you keep running has me thinking that it ain't on the up and up. And I was thinking, if you had that Cherokee woman back, I bet you could pick it apart right down to the skeleton.
Oh, absolutely. What intrigues me though is I do voice work for a living. This is what I do. Okay, and that particular voice was very carefully selected to be probably mid to late 50s, almost grandfatherly sounding, with a little bit, if you will, and this may sound really nitpicky, with a little bit of a warm chuckle in the voice, like. This is a great thing. And it's wonderful for you. It's great for everybody. Everybody's supporting it. It's going to be wonderful. So all you need to do is just go right along because it's going to be great. You see what I mean? And it's just engendering this. Well, of course I want to agree with them. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think the average IQ of the state legislators will make them aware of the same feelings I have?
I don't know. I did know that I got a letter. From one of our listeners stating that there was an attorney either out of Santa Fe or out of Phoenix who was sent a letter. I sent you
I did see part of it, yeah.
Who was sent a letter to Attorney General Fox.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And is saying that, hey, what you're doing is unconstitutional and going to bring it down. So.
Well, that's why I think the whole thing's going to end up in the U.S. Supreme Court.
Well, maybe that's not such a bad thing.
I don't think so.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Okay, bye.
Appreciate the call.
Better than having it end up in the Crime Enforcement Department.
I know, especially with a legal lawsuit. Tyler, what's up, man?
Hey, well, I'm glad somebody brought that commercial up. And then another interesting commercial that has started airing probably about 2 weeks ago is the savings account for college, the 502.
Oh, yeah.
This was brought out on Mark Levin's show that there was actually a news article, and you guys might have already had it in the queue to talk about. But the way the president wants to pay for college for everybody is he's going to actually start taxing the 502 accounts, which previously had been tax-free. And that was tax-free set up by Bush. And Obama is basically saying, well, I'm going to raise taxes on people who use those accounts in order to pay for college for everybody else.
I did read a really interesting article about how that tax would be almost specifically targeting the middle class, which is interesting because if you're rich enough, you don't use a 502 account. You have a trust, elaborate system of legal lawsuits that protect you and your family. And then if you're poor, you're probably not putting away money for education. So who's going to be the one targeted by that? It's going to be people that are in the middle class that are storing away for their kids' college.
Which is the exact same class group of people that he planned to help by sending them to college for free. So it's all double talk, and the thing is where it goes into the conspiracy is that the ads started playing 2 weeks ago. And it's the same thing with this water compact ad. If it was such a good thing, why is the commercial being pushed so hard, and why are the wording and the carefully
because Tyler, because they want you to contact your local legislator and say, vote that baby in.
Yeah, the group that's running that is a group called Farmers and Ranchers of Montana, and I think we had a representative from that group on 2 or 3 weeks ago, kind of talking about it. But it's I don't know if they're all Republicans or whatever. I actually know that they're not, but the individual we had was an ex-Republican legislator that was kind of pitching it. And I don't know who is behind Farm, but I suspect someone in the Attorney General's office.
Well, if you like your water, you can keep it. And you get free college, and you get a free phone, and you get free health care, and you get
It's free. You know what? The greatest line I've heard on this free college thing is if you think it's expensive now, just wait till it's free.
Yeah.
Because when you get government involved in the cost of education, just look at the price of a 4-year university compared to a community college now. And one of the reasons why is because there's so much money that flows into those institutions that doesn't get a check. It doesn't get looked at whether or not it's a good idea or a good investment, whereas community colleges, there's more competition.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds to me like if you're fixing to become a professor, a community college would be a great place to do it.
I hear you. All right, thanks, Tyler. Talk to you later, man. Appreciate it. 721-1290 is our number, 1-800-568-5309. Yes.
Christine, on line one.
Christine, on line one. Good morning, Christine.
Good
line one.
morning. Your last caller was absolutely correct. That is part of his college paying plan.
Lovely.
Actually, if you look at the tax loopholes that he was saying were for the rich that he wants to get rid of, quite a few of them would seriously affect the middle class. So, and when he says tax loopholes, what he means is tax deductions that we all take advantage of, like free college savings.
Sure.
But that's not what I was calling about. I've been wanting you guys to do open phones because I've been wanting to call and share a little real-life experience with the minimum wage increase.
Go for it.
As you know, I do payroll for lots of small businesses in the Missoula area. And our minimum wage went up 15 cents as of January 1st.
Right.
This is my experience of how businesses are dealing with a 15-cent minimum wage increase. Now, remember, our president wants us to do like $3.50.
10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. Yeah. The Montana legislature is asking, or has it already been raised to 1010?
No. I'll be talking with Jonathan Windy Boy, who has a proposal to raise it to 1010 in the legislature now.
Okay. All right. So go ahead.
Okay. So here's real-world experience. This is what businesses are doing to their employees. I know this because I see the payroll data.
Okay, Christine, hang on. I hate to do this. I want to give you plenty of time to stretch out and give us full description here. So can you hang on a second?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to come right back, get Christine to share this with us. Gloria, we're going to get you on as well, but I have to remain faithful to our wonderful advertisers, and we'll be right back. That was supposed to be music. Sorry. We got so tied up talking about other stuff. But you know what?
Yeah, I was enjoying it.
You like that? Okay, well, let's go. So, Christine, I interrupted you, so I want to give you plenty of time to talk about the minimum wage thing. Go.
Okay. So I have several clients, and these are real people in Missoula businesses. And the first example I'm going to give is a family-owned restaurant, and they cannot raise their prices because of the larger chain restaurants. So we sat down and we figured out, with the increased payroll and the increased payroll taxes, how much labor hours they would have to cut out in order to maintain the same labor costs. And then he met with his manager, and they reorganized the schedule in order to cut back on all the employee hours to keep the same labor costs. The second example, my client gave raises to the minimum wage employees, but the employees that had been with him for a while did not get raises because he could not afford to give everybody a raise.
Oh, man.
So the people who had worked there and worked their way up are actually making less comparative to the new employees who haven't earned the same amount.
Wow.
The third example is this, like a fast food type restaurant here in town, and he didn't think it was fair to his loyal employees to not give them his raise as well, so he had me give a 15-cent raise across the board to every employee working at the company. And then we figured out what that would cost him, and we sat down and figured out how much menu item increase we needed to do to pay for that, and we increased every item on the menu by 10 cents.
Wow. Wow.
And then this is very notable.
All right.
All my employees that don't have minimum wage, all my clients that don't have minimum wage employees, not a single one has given a raise to anyone. So the middle class people that work for businesses that aren't attached to the minimum wage didn't even notice. So all the people who have worked their way up to middle class, when the minimum wage goes up, they don't get a raise.
Well, isn't it interesting that I remember when the $15 minimum wage was first suggested, that the unions immediately. I mean, that had the ink wasn't even dry on that proposal when the union said, well, okay, since we're unions and said, let's say the minimum wage is $10 an hour and they're making $15 an hour. Well, if you're going to make the minimum wage $15 an hour, then automatically our union wage should go up commensurately to be, that percentage larger than minimum wage, simply because we're the union and we should have an advantage.
Well, that is true, and I only have one union payroll that I do, and I've yet to see their new wages now that this has taken effect. I'm sure they will, because I have seen the union do that.
Interesting.
But any, just regular small businesses in Missoula, they're not giving their employees raises because they don't have any minimum wage employees.
Now, let me ask you this, Christine. Of all those businesses you have been working with, did any of them have to let anybody go because of the raise in minimum wage?
I have some pretty generous employers who try not to do that.
Oh, good. That's good.
Mostly I just saw cuts in hours.
Yeah. And of course, if you will, a cut in the bottom line so that the owner takes home less, right?
Well, and here's the thing people don't understand is these small businesses have to compete with these large corporations that can absorb the increase.
Right.
And they simply can't. I mean, we sat down and we're like, okay, because every time you increase wages, payroll taxes go up as a percent of wages. So the hit to the employer is not the 15 cents an hour, it's more like 20 cents an hour. So we had to sit down and go, okay, where do we absorb this? And it was either cut hours, raise prices, or, because they can't still compete with large chains as a small business. And people don't understand that if we keep increasing the minimum wage like we are, we're going to end up everybody working for Walmart because there won't be any small businesses.
And you can bet that Walmart's not going to pay them $15 an hour, right?
Well,
no.
If that's the minimum wage.
Yeah.
They'll just charge you a little bit more for each soda you buy.
Well, Christine, thanks so much.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day. That's great. Getting right down to the real nitty-gritty there. Gloria, good morning. You're on Talkback. Hi.
Good morning. How are you?
Fantastic. What can we do for you, ma'am?
I wanted to comment on the group farm that has ads on your radio station. And I actually am writing a guest column for the Missoulian. I did some research on them. They are
the Farmers and Ranchers of Montana, right? Yeah. Okay. Farmers and Ranchers of Montana, yeah.
Right. And they are actually business people who came together, and they are being paid by the Salish and Kootenai tribe. They were hired, and this is from their website, as a public strategy firm. They were contracted in June of 2014, and they are actually pushing all this advertisement out, making it look like it's the ranchers and farmers in Montana. And if you go to their website, they have a list of names. I've counted 269. There were only, I believe, 19 from Missoula. I don't even know if they're ranchers. They could be apartment dwellers, just sympathetic people. But this group is this bipartisan public strategy firm is called Mercury, and it's part of a global marketing and corporate communications company called Omnicom. And the co-chairman is Denny Rehberg, who is based out of Washington, D.C.
Wow.
But all the executives are shakers and movers in anything to do with water, real estate, insurance. And so it is a ploy just to, I think, gain public sympathy for Native American lore. I don't know, what have you. But this is in the minutes of the tribal council meeting where they hired, it's Mark Baker. He is one of them, and he is an attorney to actually do the public relations work. And I told you that there were 269 statewide supporters, and the only associated group supporting organization is the Confederate Salish and Kootenai Tribe. Now, my husband and I have a ranch in the Blackfoot Valley. I know many ranchers are concerned of losing their senior water rights to be reduced to junior water rights, I think just like anything that might start out that sounds good to people who don't know anything about irrigation and so forth, it could eventually affect our wells. We also have the mayor in this town trying to seize a company on eminent domain, so you can see the water company, so you can see that without water, we have nothing. But I can tell you, I don't know of any ranchers, and I do know irrigators up there in the Flathead. They will lose their property. Food production is going to drop. So it's going to impact real estate. It's going to stop businesses. I know of a man who has a fishing business up there. He raises fish. That will probably close because his allocation for water will be removed. But also our governor and the Attorney General, Tim Fox, I think should be charged with malfeasance, and people should be writing in and asking them to either resign or maybe we should have a recall vote because they are collaborating, which is illegal and against Article 9 of the Montana Constitution.
All right.
So that's it, and I hope everybody has a good day after all that.
Thanks,
hey, Gloria, please hold on just one second, because I want to get an honest response from you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we have a break.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to the break. When we get back, I'd like you to answer a question for me, and we'll move on. Basically, the question is this. You know, we hear over and over and over again from the people that are supporting the compact that if the compact goes through, everybody that has water now will have the same water rights afterwards. But that is in stark contrast to what you're expressing here. And your fears that people will lose their ability to grow food, will lose their ability to fish on waters that they might have access to now. So when we get back, I want to know why you have those fears and what leads you to believe that.
I'll be right back. This is Talkback. 721-1290 is our number. John King's over there. I'm Peter Christian, and we've got Gloria on the line. Now, you asked a question of Gloria. Go ahead. Please repeat it.
So, my mic on?
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Works better that way.
So over the course of our conversation with people that have supported or opposed the Water Rights Compact, we hear lots of claims as the public. One of the claims from the people that support the Water Rights Compact is that everyone who has water now will have the same access after the compact. And one of the things that you hear against the compact are things like Gloria was expressing, fears that you wouldn't be able to have water in the future, wouldn't have access to your well water, wouldn't have access to the water that you need to grow the produce that you grow on your farm, etc. And so I wanted to ask Gloria, what drives her opinion that would happen?
Can you quantify that?
Okay, I will try to give you the best answer I can, also from experience. I live on Miller Creek Road, and the creek runs through my property. There's about 15 acres. When I originally came here, I had really good water rights, and after the water rights were adjudicated, I dropped down to where there were no water rights at all. I got my well registered, and there was a ditch rider at the time that would go along the creek to make sure that nobody was watering out of the creek because the largest ranch had first water rights. And so they monitored that closely. So just that little bit of life experience kind of piqued my interest. And getting educated through Dr. Kate Vandermeer and Terry Bax and the irrigators, and we've had meetings at our Tea Party with experts that come in to testify, this is following the same path. Now, if the Native Americans on the Flathead Reservation gather all the water rights and own them with their tribal union or council, anybody that is a homesteader that was even born up there that wasn't Native American and owns real estate, their water rights are going to be secondary to the tribal rights. That's how it operates, and this is a pretty serious problem for all of northwestern Pennsylvania. So even people that aren't involved with irrigating or have any so-called water rights are going to be impacted because the tribe will control all the water, and if they choose to raise the cost of water to individuals who have secondary water rights and you can't afford to pay them, then you're stuck. The other thing that people need to look at is the federal and state governments, I think, are using this as a ploy so that they can ultimately grab the water themselves. I went to a meeting that was held at the Doubletree and was totally shocked when they didn't even have an American flag in the corner or said the Pledge of Allegiance, and two of us brought it up.
What kind of meeting was this?
It was on the Water Compact with the Tribal Commission.
Oh, it was a commission
And
meeting? Okay.
It was, Tweeten was the representative for the federal government, and I forget who the state representative was. But here we have two officials with the federal and state governments, and they cannot bring unity by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. But an elder spoke up, and I felt insulted because he said, all you people out there, and that was referring to people that were not Native American, we are going to treat you kind. You're not going to be forgotten. And we are going to let the federal and state governments make the decisions, and they'll take care of us. Now, that's a pretty profound statement, and I heard that with my little ears. I am confident, without a doubt, based on the facts, and plus with this marketing company, Mercury, with Denny Reberg and Mark Baker, and let's see, there are...
No, we got to hurry along, Gloria.
Okay, so anyways, it is a ploy to take our water in northwestern Montana, and people need to go in droves up to the legislature and fight this compact from ever going through.
All right.
And let it maybe perhaps be adjudicated in court if that's the way they want to go.
Okay,
but
thanks.
They have money. They don't pay real estate taxes. The tribe doesn't. So, sorry, I'm not biased or anything, but those are real facts.
All right, thanks, Gloria.
Thanks for letting me call in.
No problem. Appreciate the guys. What open phones are all about. So, Justin and Alan, you guys have been very patient. Oh, there goes the line. We will continue talking about whatever's on your mind. It's open phones. We'll be right back. Wow, John got me. He got me on that one. 721-1290 is our number, 1-800-568-5309. All right, so everybody, the lines are rocking here this morning, and we don't have to do a darn thing but play traffic cop. So let's get Justin on next. Justin, hi. Thanks for holding.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Yeah, what's on your mind?
Good. Well, this is the first time I heard the commercial this morning regarding that water compact.
Well, you probably heard it twice now then.
Yes, correct. Last week, absolutely, which was great because it allowed me to examine it a little bit more.
It's nice, warm, chuckly voice, isn't it?
One thing we got to remember here, guys, is progressives and Marxists love to gloat. So we need to listen for keywords. These ads are ads that are designed over and over again. So what we need to look for now is keywords like forward, common ground, bringing together. Now you got to remember, all these slogans were used in Cuba, Soviet Union, and I have direct references because I have family that is in Russia right now that lived through commissary Soviet Union. It was used during the Obama campaign, and now it's being used in this ad. We got to look at these and go, okay, what are each one of these tied to? And they spend a lot of money on these ads. They spend a lot of time designing them. These words just don't fall in there by happen chance. Just want to bring that to everybody's attention.
Well, Justin, let me ask you a question. If it were an ad that was not done by an organization like this, what kind of words would they use?
Backwards, that-a-way.
No, not at all. I mean, they would just, why would they need an ad if it's so easily attained, like one of your other callers said?
Well, it's not easily attained. They got to convince the public, right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't make sense, they have to put this ad out there with these keywords. Now, let me throw another ring in there. You guys may think I'm a conspiracy theorist, so let me throw it in there. There's a lot of progressives and Marxists that may not study this. They go do their job, they come home, they watch their football games. But how do they know what to vote on? Because they hear these words. And these words are in their campaigns. These words are in their marketing materials.
I want to move
As you
forward.
hear them, you need to go in and look at them, and they say, oh, okay, it's forward. Oh, it's progressive. I'm going to vote for that. Trust me, it may not be for the ones that don't like it, trying to convert them to like it. It may be for the ones that are for progressives going, oh, you know what, this is a progressive policy. I'm going to vote on that.
So listen for these key words, right?
Absolutely. Pay attention to that. Listen to those key words. I'm absolutely serious. If you listen to those key words, they were used in Cuba, used in the Soviet Union, used in the Obama campaign. Now they're used on this ad. I've even seen them in other things where it's Montana Forward. Okay, well, why does that slogan keep coming up?
Or MSNBC, lean forward.
Each one of these individual campaigns have used it in multiple different countries, and it all leads to one thing: government grabbing more and more control, taking life, liberty, and property. I have a saying: if you don't know what to do with your life, liberty, or property, ask a progressive Marxist, because they know how to use it better than you do.
All right. Well, thanks for the call.
You're welcome, sir. God bless.
You too. Thanks. Alan, you're on Talkback. Hi.
Yeah, good morning. I want to talk a little bit about the minimum wage. Back a few months ago when the president was talking about increasing the minimum wage, I happened to be in a small business here in Stevensville, and I overheard the owner in a conversation with some friends. The owner said, if they raise the minimum wage to $10, I'm done. I can't find employees that are worth $8 an hour to me, let alone 10, and I can't work any more hours. I'll just close my business.
Wow.
What kind of business?
Well, I'd rather not say.
Okay. But it's like a small private business?
Small business here in Stevensville.
Okay.
And I think we should stop using the term minimum wage. This is not anything to do with the value of the employee to the employer. This is a mandated government wage. And I think instead of calling it minimum wage, we should call it the mandated government wage.
All right. That's good. Thanks for the call.
You bet.
Appreciate it. And that brings us to Candy. Good morning, Candy. Go ahead.
Hi. I want to say thank you to Gloria for doing the research on that group. She is spot on. I think that some of the things that you might find out might be even more disturbing if you dig deeper about that group. But I have to say a real shout out to that, Justin. Right on, amen. You have pegged it, you have heard it, and thank God you realize it, because those are used all over. Words like that cue people. They really cue people to act in different ways. And I know that some people think I'm real foolish for reading this Soviet brainwashing handbook into the city minutes.
Well, that might make you a gadfly.
Yes, it does. It's called psychopolitics, and it's exactly the way that they used and perfected just all those thought processes, and that was read into the congressional record between 1936 and 1939. So it's not made up. This is true. This is the plan that they have used all these years to take over the minds and the hearts and the souls of American people.
And now the water. So a lot of people.
And the water, that's part of it too. It has to be a full control of everything. Everything.
Okay, we got to get some more calls in. Thanks, Candy.
Bye-bye.
Norm, you're on Talkback. We have a line open, by the way, 721-1290. Go ahead, Norm.
Good morning. What I wanted to share with you all is back about 6 years ago, Florida did the same thing. They did a water compact with the Seminoles and the Cherokee Indians. When it was all said and done, they used all the same words and everything else, just like they're doing right here, and telling all the people there's nothing to worry about, your water's not going to be infected at all.
Nothing to see here. Move along.
Right. Well, when it was all said and done, they took control of every well in the state of Florida.
Wow.
And you're now on a regulation, odd and even days.
Interesting. All right, Norm, thanks.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the call. And that means JR and Marilyn are both waiting. We have a line open for you. It's open phones. So we seem to be kind of focusing on the compact right now. And if you want to do that, that's fine.
But you can also talk about bringing canned goods to school to throw out a shooter.
Yeah,
or you could talk about our original segment, which was scammers on the phone lines.
Right.
Or whatever you want.
Absolutely. We have exactly 8.5 minutes left in the show. We have JR and Marilyn and one line open for you. Don't forget, stop by McDonald's today. Get 2 sausage and egg McMuffins for just $5. Later on for lunch, 2 Big Macs for just $5. Hey, this is Talkback. Just a few minutes left in the old radio program. John
Sausage
King's
egg
over there.
McMuffins.
Hey.
When I was living in Japan, I desperately, you eat so much fish that one of the things when you drive by those rare McDonald's outposts in the middle of that island, I remember being ravenous for a sausage egg McMuffin.
All right, let's get JR on the line. Good morning, JR. What's up?
Hi, this is about that group Farmers and Ranchers for Montana.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I talked to somebody that was originally involved in that, and he told me that it was formed by a woman in Helena. Her name is Karen Fagg of HKM Engineering. Through the years, she's been like president, vice president, chief executive.
Yeah, they make no secret of that. On their website, here, I'll just read it. It says, Farmers and Ranchers for Montana Farm is a grassroots coalition of farmers and ranchers united with local leaders, Indian tribes, businesses, and other Montanans committed to fair water policies and the approval of a water compact that quantifies and secures water access to the benefit of all Montanans. And then Karen Fagg is the first name on the list. And she's listed as the campaign co-chair, and it describes her as a longtime business owner who oversaw the growth of one of the state's largest and most respected engineering firms, that would be HKM Engineering, as you mentioned. She also served for 4 years as director of the state's Department of Natural Resources and Conservation, which serves a critical role in the water adjudication process, et cetera, et cetera.
And guess who HKM Engineering is?
Who is it?
It's the engineering company that does tens of millions of dollars of business with this tribe and the other tribes in Montana. So go figure there. And who's funneling all the money to this Farmers and Ranchers of Montana? You notice they don't ask for donations because the CSKT tribe is funneling hundreds of thousands of dollars through them. And I'm sure HKM Engineering is pouring tons of money into it too because they're a big business partner with them. So that's...
Well, that is one important thing that I've learned in any of these political campaigns, is you always want to find out what is the self-interest that is presented here. And sometimes you have to dig to find it.
Well, there might be more here, because she also serves on the board of MDU Resources Group Incorporated. She chairs the Nominating and Governance Committee for Billings Catholic Schools, First Interstate Bank System Foundation, Montana Justice Foundation, and immediate past chair of the Billings Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, a very powerful woman. And remember when Tester was running against Rayburg for Senate, they formed this phony sportsman's group.
Oh, yeah.
To defeat him. That's exactly what this is.
All right.
Another, behind the scenes phony group funded by, outside sources mainly, trying to shove it down our throat. And then this flyer they're sending out, I just got in the mail this huge flyer. It says, the Montana Water Compact is the right choice for families, taxpayers, and business. It's not the Montana Water Compact. It's the CSKT Flathead Indian Reservation Water Compact, but they're trying to make people think it's a statewide compact. They call it the Montana Water Compact, and they're just putting out false information right and left.
All right, JR, thanks.
Bye.
Appreciate the call. Marilyn, you're on Talkback. Hi, go ahead.
Good morning, thanks. I have 3 really quick things. Okay, on the water compact. If they get the water, is our land next? After all, we always hear they had it first, right? Okay, next thing. The commercials. Do they really think people are that stupid that they believe, are their dogs and cats? Let me ask a question. Are your dogs and cats singing to you to tell you to get on board with Obamacare? There you go. That's one of the commercials that just sends me up the wall. Next thing.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah. Next thing. I love quoting scripture, even though, lots of people, even the rhinos, will tell you, don't be a Bible thumper. Well, we need more Bible thumpers. Here's a good one. Ecclesiastes 10:2. The heart of the wise inclines to the right, but the heart of the fool to the left.
I love it. Thanks, Marilyn.
Oh, wow.
Have a good day. All right, Jeannie, good morning. You're on Talkback. Go ahead.
Hi, a caller was alerting us to the key words to look for when there's government proposals, and one word was forward. And I have a pen here in my hand from MCPS, and their logo is Missoula County Public Schools, forward thinking, high achieving. So I'm just thinking this is another indication that the district's new 21st century plan is leaning towards this new world whatever it is.
Well, let's put it this way: when you look at the combined teachers union, and you look at the direction that they usually head, then it's not a big stretch to think that
they're always going forward, more school choice, more reforms.
Yeah.
No, it's more like more money for us and stay in the same way that you've been for the last 40 years.
Anyway.
Anyway, forward thinking, high achieving. That kind of gives you a clue.
Okay. Well, thanks, Judy. All right. So
I think that a lot of people are going to be seeing the word forward in a lot of places.
I agree.
And might be reading a little bit too much.
I'm going to go forward into the into the weekend here in just a few minutes. So we have 2 minutes left in the program. So if you have something you want to say and you didn't get a chance to get in, but
I have something I need to bring up.
Okay,
because this is they're standing up for men's rights in Germany.
All right, go for it quickly.
Okay, this is an article out of the Telegraph. German judge defends the right of men to pee standing up. An Englishman's home may be his castle, but in Germany, the courts consider it their duty to rule on even the most intimate details of life at home. The ruling comes after a landlord took his former tenant to court for refusing to pay for damage to the marble floor of the bathroom of his flat that he said was caused by stray drops from the tenant's habit of relieving himself while standing up. It might seem standard practice for most men to take aim from a standing position, but some sections of German society have a bizarre obsession with obliging men to answer nature's call while seated. It is not uncommon to find homemade signs in German bathrooms commanding men to adopt a seated position. The landlord complained that his tenant had caused 1,900 euros worth of damage to the floor of the bathroom, but the judge ruled on Thursday that the tenant had the right to take care of business standing up. Quote, despite the increasing domestication of men in this regard, urinating while standing up is still widespread, he wrote in a judgment which appeared at times to be a riposte of the claim that Germans have no sense of humor. Quote, anyone who still practices this formerly dominant custom has to expect occasional clashes with their flatmates, particularly female ones, but they don't have to worry about damage to the marble floor, end quote. That was in an official judge's decision.
We have Matt
Rosendale on Monday.
Matt Rosendale is going to be with us on Monday, and you guys have a wonderful weekend. How do you top that? All right. And that's not a scam, by the way. So have a great weekend, everybody.